Europe is a very ancient land, rich with history, bloodshed, long-forgotten secrets, and many infamous legends. Some of these legends would grow from superstition into mainstream fiction, while others continue to remain hidden in the shadow of folklore and mythology. Today, we discuss 5 unsettling European legends. We're all familiar with Bram Stoker's Dracula, an infamous character who would forever change how the world saw vampires. However, the real inspiration for this undead antagonist came from a fear that once struck the hearts of Eastern Europeans. Strigoi are the disturbing spirits of the dead, or undead corpses returning from their resting place, according to Romanian mythology. Some forms of Strigoi possess more physical and human-like forms. In addition to this, they may also hold supernatural powers, such as the ability to consume the life force of a living organism, take on the appearance of an animal, or become invisible. Hure Grando is considered the first recorded account of a Strigoi. According to his legend, 16 years after his death in 1656, Grando would rise from the grave after dusk and frighten the denizens of the village. Father Giorgio, a priest from the village, eventually discovered that Grando would knock on villagers' doors. This was a foreshadowing that the villagers whose doors were knocked upon would die within the following days. Furthermore, the priest also learned that Grando would return to his widow and relentlessly torment her. Eventually, the villagers decided that they had had enough, and it was time to take matters into their own hands. A group of brave men, led by a villager named Mihu Radetic, went after Grando and attempted to stab him in the heart with a hawthorn stick, but ultimately failed as the stick only bounced off Grando's chest. In 1672, during the following attempt, they decided to march to Grando's grave and unearth his coffin. What they found was a perfectly preserved corpse, smiling. Father Giorgio exclaimed a quick prayer, and afterwards they tried to pierce Grando's heart again, but only in vain. In one final desperate attempt, the priest then performed a few exorcism prayers and subsequently sawed off the head of Grando. As soon as the teeth of the saw bit into Grando's neck, fresh blood began to pour out as he shrieked agonizingly. Once his torturous wail subsided, they knew that Grando had died once and for all. Another noteworthy account of a Strigoi is that of a story told in Franz Hartmann's 1909 book, An Authenticated Vampire Story. According to the story, children of a village in the Carpathian Mountains began to disappear, and the inhabitants started to suspect that it was an undead count who was still residing in his long-abandoned fortress. The villagers then burned the structure down and killed the Strigoi that had been inhabiting it. There are many other tales of similar entities across Eastern Europe. However, because they transpired so long ago, we will never know the entire truth behind them. Now just hold on a second. I've got a commercial for you from my beautiful special friends at Dollar Shave Club. Yeah, it's them again, and I couldn't be happier. But don't worry, we'll be right back to the episode in just a hot-shaved little minute. This episode of Seriously Strange is sponsored by Dollar Shave Club. The people over at Dollar Shave Club really know what it takes to make a human being look and smell their best. That's because Dollar Shave Club tackles the horrifying issues that plague mankind on a daily basis. Shitting, showering, and shaving, of course. If you join the Dollar Shave Club, you're not only joining the sexiest club around, but you're also clearly giving a shit about yourself. And I think it's about time. Becky, you're not just giving a shit about yourself. As a human being, you're typically giving 1 to 2 shits to the toilet daily. Unless you're super constipated, then maybe you should stop eating entire blocks of cheese. That's what makes Dollar Shave Club so special. They not only help you look great, but they help you clean and smell great too. From their damn sexy executive razor to shave butter, a full cassette of razors, which usually costs like $400 in the store, to body wash and sassy little ass wipes. And they've got so much more to offer too. All you need to do is go to dollarshaveclub.com/RobDyke, linked below, and they'll give you an amazing starter set featuring all of this for only $5 with free shipping. Free shipping. You'll be shitting, showering, and shaving like a champ in no time. Just look at it all again. Look how gorgeous this is. No, I can barely keep looking. My beard is getting nervous, but also, it feels kinda turned on. Senpai? And before you go thinking this is just for dudes, ladies, let your beard daddy tell you the truth. All this works wonderfully for the ladies too. Smooth legs, smooth armpits, smooth other parts. It's all golden with Dollar Shave Club. Trust me, you're more than welcome in. Trust me, I said so. Except you, Becky. Broke my heart, Becky. Maybe you're like me and you don't like going to the store and sifting through thousands of razor options, and you're a hermit living off in a cave in the middle of the woods who hasn't seen the light of day in about 3 years, so your eyes are becoming accustomed to the dark and you're starting to feel kind of like... Well, that's one of the best things about Dollar Shave Club. They send everything right to your cave or door regularly. No hassle whatsoever. It's like getting a present you actually want with all your mail from the IRS where they start to threaten litigation. I can't deal with this anymore. So head down into the description below and hit up that link to dollarshaveclub.com/RobDyke and join me in the Dollar Shave Club. It's an amazing place. Take the step. It's time. Truly, it's time. Trust me, have you seen yourself? It's time. Do it. So thank you for listening. And now, back to the episode. The most widely known lake serpent legend is the Loch Ness Monster. However, a lesser known but equally terrifying mystery resides in the Norwegian lake of Seljorsvatnet. According to folklore of the region, a serpent-like creature named Selma lurks below the waters of Lake Seljorsvatnet. The earliest eyewitness accounts date back to the 1700s. Most individuals who have claimed to see the creature describe it as being 35 to 40 feet long. One account in particular dates back to 1880, when a son and her mother cut a bizarre creature in half when it tried to attack them in their boat. The lower half of the creature squirmed as it submerged itself underneath the water, while the other half was left to rot on the shore. During another incident in the summer of 1918, a man named Carl Carlson went to go fishing off a bridge that crossed a portion of the lake. But then, out of nowhere, he saw a large creature close to the surface of the water approaching the bridge. In a panic, Carlson took off running and left his fishing pole behind. Later, he would describe the creature's head as similar to that of a horse. 2 years later, a man by the name of Ivan decided to go fishing and also caught a startling glimpse of the creature. When he arrived at his fishing spot, he watched as the elusive animal crawled out of the lake. However, once it spotted that a human presence was nearby, the creature immediately retreated back into the water. Ivan described the creature as having the head of a crocodile with fin-like limbs. More recently, in 2001, an unnamed father and son were going to the lake to go swimming. However, as they approached the shores, they saw a serpent-like beast lying on the beach. The son accidentally made a noise and the creature immediately turned its head towards them. The man's description of the animal was very similar to the previous description from eyewitnesses. Some believe the creature is the same species as the Scottish Nessie, while others interpret it as a mythological seahorse. Unfortunately, due to the lack of evidence, it's only up to you to decide whether or not the Selma lake monster is real at all. Haunting the Alps is the odious legend of a beast called the Tatzelworm. It is described as a cross between a cat and a worm, or in other instances, half feline, half snake. One of the first accounts of a Tatzelworm was recorded in 1779. A man named Hans Fuchs was wandering about the countryside when quite unexpectedly, two of the creatures crossed his path. The man was so terrified that he rushed back home and described what had happened before dying from cardiac arrest. It's not certain how the alleged creatures reacted when they saw Fuchs, although due to the severity of his fright, it can easily be interpreted that the strange animals he encountered were hostile. Over a century later, in 1954, a photographer named Bolkin claimed to have caught the mysterious animal on film. This caused much interest in the creature, and so it was soon decided that an expedition would be led by Bolkin. However, and not surprisingly, nothing ever came of their hunt for the Tatzelworm. Later, most experts who analyzed Bolkin's film would state that the video was nothing more than a hoax. Even so, eyewitnesses still come forth intermittently. The Knuckle-A-V is a fabled monster from Orcadian mythology that allegedly dwells in the sea. The being can be described as demon and horse-like with some human characteristics. It has been blamed throughout ancient history for negative natural occurrences such as droughts and famines. Although the Knuckle-A-V's primary dwelling is underneath the ocean, according to some accounts it can come onto land, but is unable to cross any major body of fresh water. This is because it cannot tolerate fresh water. The Knuckle-A-V refuses to come onto land even during rain showers and thunderstorms. Its legend tells that the entity's breath is highly toxic and can kill crops and livestock. The more detailed descriptions of the Knuckle-A-V illustrate a truly disturbing picture. The creature has the torso of a man attached to the back of a horse. The arms are said to be able to reach the ground from the human-like torso, and some accounts describe it as having one or two heads. In addition, skin is never present on the creature, with muscle and yellow veins always being exposed. Pumping through the yellow veins is usually blood that is black in color. These details vary from time to time with the numerous accounts recorded. However, the broader details of the Knuckle-A-V are usually the same. The mythical being is considered the most malevolent in and around the Scottish Islands. The origins of its legend are mainly influenced by Scandinavian and Celtic folklore. According to Slavic and Germanic folklore, a mare is an evil spirit that rides on people's chests while they sleep, causing unpleasant dreams and sleep paralysis if their victims awaken. The word nightmare even derives from the name of this daunting legend. Mares usually take the appearance of an attractive woman with black hair, pale skin, and a nightgown. They are believed to enter the houses of their victims by slipping through tight cracks in the walls and floors in the form of sand or smoke. Mares usually target males and attack them during their sleep. However, they are also known to drain life from animals and plants, such as trees and horses. In addition to this, it's believed by many that mares are able to shapeshift into certain animals. To name a few, some include frogs, cats, oxen, dogs, and even wasps. However, throughout the different countries in Europe, some of these details vary. For instance, Polish folklore portrayed mares as spirits wandering from the bodies of restless people, while Romanian mythology sometimes depicted them as the offspring of two strigoi. During the age where the belief in these terrible beings was very common, people went to many lengths to ward off mares. Some of these included holding onto a blessed amulet at night, keeping brooms upside down behind doors, and even putting a belt on top of the bed sheets. Luckily, it appears this superstition has in fact died, even if sleep paralysis and terrible nightmares have quite obviously not. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out Dollar Shave Club. Whether you're a man, woman, horseman, horsewoman, a crocodile horsefish, a sexy nightmarish sand smoke nightgown chick, a strigoi, or any other possibility, you'll be happy you did. And of course, be sure to subscribe to my channel now, because you won't want to miss what's next. And I'll see you next time.